Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kata, the model investor. I know I haven't done a video in a while, and I was in the shower this morning and some thoughts came to my head that I wanted to share with you guys. Basically, I think it's a case for self-managing over using property management. So cut a long story short, I took over self-managing my portfolio of rental properties in August of 2020. So right in the thick of COVID. I had no experience with communicating with tenants, handling late payments, rent collection, net alone evictions, or anything like this. So I was kind of really thrown into the middle of things. Although, it was my choice and I was excited at the same time. I was very inexperienced. So I read a lot of books on how to self-manage, took a lot of advice, tried to gather a lot of information as far as how to handle, how firm to be with tenants. What do I do when a tenant starts paying late? A lot of people said you have to be really strong and firm in the beginning, because if someone doesn't pay the first month or you're too lenient on tenants, they will run amok and stop paying. So I took this information on and I did kind of what I could as far as kind of getting a handle on how I wanted to be as a property manager, and also try and find that balance between being too hard. And during these times, a lot of people were suffering. So I kind of went with my gut feeling in the end and found a balance between kind of using a more human approach, talking to the tenants more. If they communicated with me that they would be late, there were no late fees charged, although I don't even think late fees were even legal to charge during COVID. I didn't charge any. So and if someone said, listen, I can't pay this month, but next month I'm going to be getting my job back, against advice of others, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to work with this tenant. I'm going to see if this is going to be an approach that I'm comfortable with, or is going to work in the long run for me, or if I'm going to get, completely taken and kind of used. So anyway, so basically I've had pretty great rent collection through COVID. I have 2 non-paying tenants now. One had a court hearing this morning, and it looks like we're going to get a judgment to be able to evict her by the end of this month. And another tenant that has been quite a nightmare that I also tried to work with in the beginning, and offer to not worry about back rents, allow her to pay on a payment plan, and she has just been nothing but trouble. So I'm also proceeding with an eviction for her. Having said that, I've had other tenants that have been really great throughout this process, and they've paid small amounts, or one month they won't pay and the next month they'll catch up, and I've really worked with them, and it's really paid off, because everyone is really staying up to date now and really appreciated that leeway that I gave them in the earlier days when people were losing their jobs and it was really challenging for everyone. So a good example, this morning I got some great news. So I have a tenant, she fell behind in December. She was working 2 jobs, she lost both her jobs. She couldn't get unemployment. Her identity was actually stolen and someone was taking her unemployment. And I know to some people this might sound like a crazy excuse, but I knew her and she was always a good payer, and she had reached out to me. She sent me a letter. We had a conversation about everything that had happened, and I said, listen, just whatever you need to do, just take your time. She said I would be the first person to be paid. She took the rent very seriously, and as soon as she got her unemployment back pay and got this identity kind of theft sorted out and the stimulus, that she would contact me and she would pay. So I didn't proceed with any kind of notice, no filing. We stayed in contact, and it was a little bit of a leap of faith perhaps, but she called me this morning and said that she has December's rent. We're picking that up today, and her unemployment back pay will be coming in 10 days, and she will be completely up to date by the end of this month. You know, she apologized, but also I really feel like giving her that time. I wasn't hassling her. I wasn't sending notices. I was just like, I know she's going to pay. She's had a really hard time. It put me in a slightly tighter position without the rent coming in, but I had the reserves. Other people are paying. I'd calculated for that. And I think it really paid off. And this morning, you know, I get that phone call. I really think it just goes to show that you can handle these types of situations in many different ways. And I chose a more humane kind of approach. I don't want to say humane, but, you know, understanding approach from a landlord's perspective. And we've built this relationship, and, you know, I helped her out, and now she's helping me out by sticking to her word. She's paying for the whole amount. There are a lot of tenants out there that I know, not my own, but that are just flat out not paying because they don't have to. And with the eviction moratorium, you know, it keeps getting pushed, and like people aren't sure if they can evict or not and what's going on, that these tenants are just flat out not paying. So it really made me really proud that she had stuck to her word and is making that effort. And, you know, she's going to be up to date by the end of this month. She was late 4 months. So that's a lot. That's a lot to catch up on, and she's done it. And I'm just really grateful that she stuck to her word. And, you know, I've seen it with a few other tenants too. I've let them figure things out, and I've given them some leeway and a little breathing room. And ultimately, they have come to pay the full amount. They're up to date now. We worked out the back rents, and everything was kind of just with a little time, and everyone's back on track. So I don't know if a property manager would have this kind of time and under pressure from landlords, of course, to handle situations like this. It did take some time, and like I said, it was a leap of faith in a lot of ways. But I think as self-managing, I am able to make those decisions. It's my bottom line, and it's my properties, and they're ultimately my tenants. And so I can make that decision, and I have that time to kind of think over it. And there were some sleepless nights where I was just like, you know, I don't know if this tenant's telling the truth, or, you know, I've had a couple of difficult tenants, the ones that I am evicting, that no matter how much kindness I push their way and I'm trying to help them, they just, you know, they're just real trouble. And I mean, they even yell at me, and I'm like, I'm really trying to help you here, and you're living in my house for free, so not sure where that comes from. So anyway, I'm going the full hog with them through the courts system, the whole works. At this point. So yeah, anyway, I just kind of wanted to share that because I think it's an interesting perspective as a self-manager. If I had stuck with property management, or, you know, would they have been able to handle it in this situation? Would we have had different results? Would the tenants have ended up just not paying? Or, you know, what would have happened? It's just interesting. I'd like to see that comparison. So anyway, so some good news. There are really good people out there. Tenants want to pay. There are good landlords too. And I think we all just have to work together and understand each other a little bit right now, and help each other ultimately. So, you know, I run a business, but I'm also a person, and I understand what it's like to lose a job and be short from month to month. So I feel really good that this tenant and I were able to work that out, and it's all paid off. So just wanted to share that. Anyway, I better get back to running some more deals, but happy investing, you guys. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. Sorry my videos are so sporadic. I just try to kind of talk about things that are happening in real time, and there hasn't been a ton of stuff happening, which is a good thing. But I wanted to share this with you. So I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.